Hello people, sorry to be gone once again. My children have been keeping me home a lot this winter, so I apologize for being gone once again. But we are going to be looking at the day 3 notes today. It's area and circumference, which I have a feeling is stuff that you've already seen before, so it shouldn't be too bad. Tomorrow will be a review day, so we'll have time to kind of catch up if there's issues with any of this stuff that you don't understand. And then on Thursday we'll have our quiz. So I'm glad we at least have a buffer day in between this video, and I promise I will be back on Wednesday. We'll review and all that good stuff. Area and circumference, we're going to be talking about exact and approximate answers. Exact answers are answers that are left in terms of pi. And when we write down our answer, it'll be, area equals or circumference equals. Approximate answers are put into the calculator and they are rounded. All right, they're going to be rounded, and our symbol for that is kind of like a squiggly equal sign, so it's approximately, about. All right, we know all these vocab words, most of them. Radius is a segment that connects the center to a point on the circle, so like KE, KD, KL, those are all radii. A diameter is going to go all the way through. It's a chord that passes through the center of a circle. Area of the circle, the formula, the area is just, how much square inches, square meters cover this circle. The formula for area is going to be radius squared times pi. So you'll need to know the radius for that. Circumference is more like if we were taking like some paint and we were going to be painting this entire circle, how much paint would we need? So it's really just the outline. It's kind of like the perimeter of the circle. So we don't care so much about the inside. It's just how much paint will we need to make this blue circle. Circumference is, there's two options. Circumference is either going to be diameter times pi if you know the diameter, or you can do 2 times radius times pi, which hopefully that makes sense because you have, if you put two radii together in the right way, you're going to get the diameter. So 2 times radius or diameter, same thing. So when we do these problems here, we've got C equals C approximate, A equals A approximate. So like C equals, you're going to do, we have, this is obviously our radius. So for circumference, we're going to do 2 times radius times pi. 2 times 8 is 16, and it's pi, and the units will be centimeters. Circumference is like perimeter. We'll just have regular units. Now the approximate, all that means is on your calculator, you're going to be typing in 16, and then pi is, you got second, and then this symbol right here above the division sign has the pi. If you type that in using pi on your calculator and you round this, you're going to get approximately like 50.3. It'll tell you in the directions what to round to. We'll round to the nearest tenth. So 50.3 centimeters. All right. Area is radius squared times pi. So our radius is 8. We're going to be doing 8 squared times pi. So that would be 64 pi. Anytime you're dealing with area, area will be square units, so it'll be centimeters with a little 2. Approximately, what you'll do on that is you'll type in 64 pi and round it, and that's about 201.1. 201.1, and again it's square centimeters. For number 2, this time we're given a diameter, goes the whole way through. So for circumference, we could just use D, diameter, 20 times pi, and it'll be inches. For the circumference, the approximate one, you just type that in on your calculator. So you're going to do 20 second pi, and you're going to get 62.8 for your answer, and that'll just be regular inches. Area is the one that's going to have the square units. Area doesn't use diameter, it uses the radius. So if the diameter, the whole thing is 20, we need to figure out what the radius is. The radius will end up being half of that, so the radius is 10. And once you know your radius, then you can plug it into the radius squared. So we're going to be doing 10 squared times pi. 10 squared is 100. So we got 100 pi square inches. And then for the approximate, you just type it in. So you're going to type in 100 and then second pi, and you get 314.2. 314.2 square inches. So that's how area and circumference will work on those types of problems. All right, if we go to the back, we're going to have two more sets of formulas. We've got area of a sector and arc length. Area of a sector is where a sector is like part of a circle. It's a shaded area. A sector is a fraction of the area of the circle. There are 360 degrees in a circle. So the formula for this is you need to figure out what this angle or this arc measurement is. So m out of 360. So what fraction of the circle is this arc times the area of the circle. So times radius squared times pi. All right, so we're doing m over 360, whatever the arc measurement is over 360, times the area, radius squared times pi. Arc length is, instead of finding the area of just this piece of pi, arc length is just finding out part of the circumference. It's basically finding out what the distance is from this point to this point, following the circle. Arc length is a fraction of the circumference of the circle. There are, again, 360 degrees in a circle. So for arc length, you're going to be using the circumference formula. You're going to still do what fraction of the circle is that arc, so m over 360, times, and then the circumference, you can either do 2 times radius times pi or diameter times pi. All right, so these are the two formulas. I'll show you how it works in case you're a little iffy on it. All right, so for these ones, you're doing exact area. And again, the area is m over 360 times radius squared times pi. So m, the measurement of this arc, is 80. 6 is going to be my radius. So I'm going to take those and plug them in. So I have 80 over 360, all right, times my radius squared times pi. So I'm going to be doing 80 over 360 times 6 squared. So you can do that on your calculator. All right, so you can put the 80 over 360 in parentheses. I don't think it'll make a difference if you forget them. Times 6 squared, or 36, and you're going to get 8. And then you just tack on the pi. So basically you ignore the pi and then you just tack it back on. Notice it says exact area, so that means you're leaving it in terms of pi. Because it's area, it's going to be square units, so it's square inches. All right. With number 4, it's a little bit different because the area of the sector that we're trying to find is this piece. All right, we don't know what this arc is, but we can figure out what it is. If this thing is 120 and we know the whole circle is 360, we can do 360 minus 120. This arc is going to be 240. So this is a really big piece of the circle. We're going to now do the formula. So now that we know m is 240, and we already knew our radius was 12, we can plug it in. So we got 240 over 360, all right, times radius squared, 12 squared, times pi. And you can type that in on your calculator. So on your calculator, you've got 240 divided by 360, and then you got times 144. And you're going to get 96. So my area is going to be 96. Don't forget the pi, that's important. And then the units will be square centimeters because we're talking about area. So it's just a matter of using the formula. It shouldn't be too bad. 5 and 6 are arc length. The exact length, notice it's exact, so we're going to leave our answers in terms of pi. We're trying to find the arc length, so basically how much it is from S to M in meters following that circle. So the formula again is m over 360 times 2 times radius times pi. So the measurement of this arc is 150, so we're going to do 150 over 360, and then 2 times radius, 2 times 9 times pi. Or we're basically doing 150 over 360 times 18 pi, because 2 times 9. So we're going to do that on our calculator. And we've got 150 divided by 360, and then we're timesing it by 18, and we're going to get 7.5. All right, if you want to do math frac, you can do that. You're going to get 15 halves. So you can do 15 halves pi, or you could do 7.5 pi. I'd probably leave it as a fraction. Because we're talking about arc length, you don't need to worry about square units. It'll just be regular old meters. All right, 6 is another one. We've got the arc is 90, so we're going to be doing 90 over 360. And then we're going to do 2 times the radius, which is 3.2 times pi. And you could do the 2 times 3.2 right now if you wanted. That's 6.4. So we have to type this in on our calculator, and then we're pretty much set. So we got 90 divided by 360, and then we're timesing it by 6.4. And you get 1.6. You can do math frac. You get 8 over 5. So you got 8/5 pi, don't forget the pi, and then because it's arc length, it's like circumference, the units will not be squared. So that's kind of the main idea, a lot of just plugging numbers into the formulas. You will need to know these formulas. Remember, there is a quiz on Thursday. This stuff down here, we were going to do a cookie lab today. I have cookies all ready to go for you. I got Oreos and chocolate chips and things. So I will do this with you guys on Wednesday, tomorrow. Okay, so I will have cookies for you, and we're going to be measuring the circumference and the diameter of some cookies and figuring out what that all means, and then we'll get to eat them. So, because I don't want them all in my house, so otherwise I'll eat them all. So this we will do later, but for now, hopefully you are good to go. The assignment is going to be, I forgot what it is, 34 to 46 in your packet. So that's what you have to work on for the rest of the time, 34 to 46. And I will check 1 to 46 on Wednesday, since I haven't had a chance to check any of it yet. All right, thank you for listening. Good luck on your homework.